Good morning, teachers. Good morning. So, by the way, I am Fredly Bukog, your training specialist from the Office of Silliman Online University Learning. So, in this part, we have, in this session, we will tackle the two topics for upscaling session for teachers, ensuring student engagement. So, I am talking about poll activity, or this in this part we will use the choice activity feature in MySoul, and then we also have the student profiling, or we can have another mode. We have the online election by the use of our questionnaire. So basically, we will focus with the two features in MySoul, the choice activity and then the questionnaire activity. So let's start. So here, I will first give you the introduction about the choice activity, and then we will have a sort of demonstration on how to make a choice activity in our MySoul. So may I request everyone to please prepare your desktop or laptop for the hands-on exercises, and which you will pass at the end of the session. So I will just share my screen first. Okay, so here we will start with the choice. So this is more about polling activity or using choice activity in MySoul. So I will just enlarge this one. So basically here, a choice activity allows you to present a single question only, and then you to students you can present a single question to your students, having a single response or multiple responses as possible answers. So each student can then pick one of the given choices or options. With that being said, that we have a single response or multiple responses. Choice activities are intended for gathering information only and not gradable. So this activity can be useful as a quick survey for your class. For example, to poll students on which readings they want to discuss further in a class or a specific lesson. So it can also be used as a sign-up sheet by limiting the number of students who are allowed to select each option. So you can limit a particular number of responses by option or possible choices. So that's the choice activity in MySoul. So how to make a choice activity in MySoul? So again, it's your decision if you will make a choice as a quick poll or survey, or you can have it by giving specific questions from a specific lesson. Again, this is only displaying a single question. In this part, the type of question, it can have a multiple choice. So in that multiple choice, it has a single response or multiple responses in the choice activity. So in my case, I will use this particular section. This is section 7, polling activity using the choice activity. So here I have an example of the choice. So this is a sort of overview. The choice part is you have your choice name. So that's the name of your choice or activity. Again, in this part, this is not graded. This is just polling or voting for that specific question. So example, I will click the poll number 1, assessment for learning. So basically this will show the question itself and then the list of possible options. So in this part, you can see here that this is in radio button. And here it means that you will select only one. If you have your multiple answers, this radio button will be converted to checkbox, which means you can select more than one option. So for example here, this is my choice. I will save my choice. And in that case, we have options of whether we allow students to update their choice, or let's focus only, for instance, they cannot alter their specific choice. Again, it's up to the setting of the choice activity. So basically, that's a sort of overview. You can see the question, one single question, and then the type of options. They use a single response that is in radio button. And if that is that requires multiple responses, then it will be converted to checkbox, wherein they can have more than one options or answers. So in my case, we will make a choice activity. So to make a choice activity, you go to your specific section where you want your choice activity to be in. So for example, I have section 7. So I will make a choice activity. So I will just click the create learning activity button and it will activate the activity chooser. So in this case, this is a type of activities in MySoul. So I will look for choice. So just simply click the choice and then you will be redirected to the choice page. So first one is you have the choice name. So in the choice name, it means that you will enter a name for that activity. So for example, that is good for voting. Like voting number 1, and then your activity title. And then you have your question itself. So for example, So that's your option. And then here you have the option to display description on course page. So which means that in this part, you want this particular question to be displayed in the outside appearance of the course page. So if not, so just leave unchecked. So they will only see the voting number, like voting number 1, activity title, or your choice name. So it's up to you if you want to display the question outside, or uh, the option is if they will click the voting number 1 activity title, then they will see the question. So it's up to you. So in my case, can say I will display this one to the course page. Okay. And then here, the display mode for the options. So you have two modes to display. Display the following options or choices, horizontal or vertical. So if it depends on the choices or options. So in my case, I can have it horizontal. So allow choice to be updated. So in this part, you allow your students to update their choice. So we have two options, yes or no. If that is a yes, make sure you set your availability time and date. And if no, so once they click that particular radio button, then they will not they cannot change their options or choice. So in my case, I will allow a student to alter their choices. Allow more than one choice to be selected. By default, this is no, so which means that you allow only single answer or single response. If you choose the yes, then you allow multiple responses. Then it will be converted into checkbox, wherein you can select more than one option. And then here, limit the number of responses allowed. So this is by option. So for example, if you click yes, then automatically we have a limit each option. So example, if you have 30 students, and if you want that particular option, uh, uh, to be responded by 15, and then the second one is 15, then you can specify this number, limit 1, which means the choice number 1 is limited only for that particular responses. Again, it's up to you on how you formulate your question. So in the description, this is basically your question. So in my case, I will, in this part, I said no. Sorry, in this part, the limit to 1, limit the number of responses allowed. So I will just disable this part. Okay. So in this case, it's up to you on how you use the limit the number of responses allowed. And then here you can start the option, displaying your options. In this part, you can have yes or no. So again, this is pertaining to your question from the description. So have you done reading module 2? So the answer is yes or no. If there is more than five possible choices, then you can still add by just simply clicking the three add 3 fields to form button. Again, I will just review. So again, if you click the choice activity, you will be redirected to the choice page. You give it a name, that is choice name, and then you have your description, so that pertains your question of that particular choice activity. And then you can have the option to display description on course page or not. And then here, display mode for the option. This is based from the choices or options available in that particular question. If that's too long, then you can use the vertical display. If that's only two possible answers or two possible options, then you can display it horizontally. And then allow choice to be updated. This means that you allow your learners to update their choice. And then here, allow more than one choice to be selected. By default, this is no. So basically, you have a single response only in that particular activity. If you want to have a multiple responses, then click yes, and then select yes for multiple responses. And limit to number of responses allowed. So it's up to you if you limit a particular option or choices to that specific responses. So example, if you have 30, then you can have option 1. I will only allow 15 respondents to answer that particular option 1, and option 2, 15. So it's up to you on how you construct your activity, your choice activity. So after that, you go up and then set up the right side settings of the choice activity. First, if you are still making your activity, so my suggestion is you hide from students. And then the availability, okay? So you need to specify if if you allow your students to be updated in their particular choice, so you should have a time frame for that. So in that case, I will allow them, for instance, this is the day, the month, and then the year. So November 17, and then a particular hour or time. So for example, from 9, this is military time, take note. And then allow responses until 17 till 1 p.m. So that's 13. And then after that, you scroll down and then you click the results. In the results, so you have options. So here, do not publish results to the students, and then show results to the students after they answer. Show results to students only after the choice is closed, pertaining to the closing date and time. And then always show results to students. So once they've done this particular question, then they can see other responses coming from their learners, from other learners. Again, in that case, so it's up to you on how you set up your choice regarding the viewing part. So again, the default is do not publish results to student, and then followed by show results to student after they answer. So basically you are allowing or allows a student to see results only after they answer that particular question first. And then show results to students. It means that you allow student to see results only after the closing date and time of your availability from this particular part. And then lastly, you allow student to see results even if they have not answered the question. So it's up to your choice, but again, in this part, I did not publish this particular result. And then show column for unanswered. So it's up to you if you want this one to be show yes or no. So in this part, to it allows students to see results even if they have not answered that particular questions. If you convert this one to yes. And then here we have the restriction. So the restriction part, it's up to you on how you set up this particular portion. If you allow this into a specific group, then you can restrict that one into group. And then you have the activity completion. So activity completion, this is to engage more on student. So in this part, you have three modes. Students can manually mark the activity as completed, so meaning manual. And then the other part is a show activity as complete when conditions are met. So in my case, I will choose the third one. And then I can see here that these are my conditions. If the student must view this particular activity to complete it, and then it will show as complete when the user makes a choice. So in this part, so in the right side, so all you need to do is just set up the visibility. If you are still making, so just hide from students. Then the availability of that particular question from that time and date and time. And then the results, it's your choice. And then here, the restrict access, and then the activity completion. Once you're done, then automatically you can just simply save and return to course. So this is the overview of your particular choice. So I will just show it to my students, and then here, and once they click this particular poll or quick poll or voting, so they can see my question, and then the options is displayed horizontally. So it's up to you if you want that one to in a vertical mode. So once they click this particular choice, then automatically save my choice. So for this one, I want you to answer the voting number one activity title in upskilling session for teachers, so that I can see your responses regarding this particular activity. Example only, so you can just answer this particular question. So you can go to the upskilling session for teachers, student engagement, and then answer this particular choice activity. And then I will just click this particular, okay, I can see here that in your case as a student, as a teacher, you can see your responses by just simply clicking your choice activity. So you just simply click the choice activity, and then you can see here I have I have 8 responses. So I just simply click this one, and then you can see here that these are the names who answered that particular choice. Okay. So here you can also download this particular result in Excel format, text format, or ODS format. Okay, so that's the importance of having a choice activity. So it's more on polling or voting for that specific question.